Hey guys, what's up? Scottish Duck here once again. Right, on this channel before I've talked about that feeling of like, you know, being sort of dragged on by a game, you know, a game that you want to beat so badly, but you just can't beat it for whatever reason, and you're always conflicted. It's like, but you've spent so much time on it, you really want to like beat it, you know, it's like, it's very back and forth like that, and ultimately you have to decide to be disappointed and let it go, or finally clutch it out and beat it, where you may or may not, at the end of it, decide you really liked it that much or not, okay? I've talked about this before, and I also came to the resolution, and I still believe that wholeheartedly, that unless a game is, you know, carrying me completely, then I'm not going to bother with it, I'm going to drop it, and all that stuff, okay? But even then, there's still always like that feeling of just, I should have beaten it, I wanted to beat it. And you know, maybe you'll not like try to beat this game once, maybe you'll go back to it a few times over the course of your life, and for whatever fucking reason, you will just never fucking beat it, okay? Those games, I've recently just been calling curse games, okay? Games that you want to beat so badly, and you just, you know, yeah, I just explained it, yeah. You just don't though, okay? And I want to talk about some right now, because let me tell you, the game that actually inspired this video here is this one, okay? Fire Emblem for the Game Boy Advance. Now, I have this downloaded on the Wii U, and I was playing it for a bit there, and in the past I've tried to beat this game, and I got really far into it. I put a lot of time into this game, but for whatever reason I just dropped it before I actually beat it. I don't know why I did that, but I did. And I was very keen to try and like get through this game and beat it in time for like Fire Emblem Echoes coming out in May, you know? But because this like release schedule right now is so mental, like I'm playing Story of Seasons right now, loving it. I'm playing Nier Automata, I'm 30 hours into that, it's not fucking ending. I've still got Horizon to play, I've still got Neo to play, Persona 5 is out next Tuesday, right? It's absolutely mental, so I kind of just had to decide it's gonna drop, and that's when I was like, this game's a curse. This is a game that I'm never going to beat, it seems. Which sucks, because I really like this game, and I just want that satisfaction of beating it, okay? This and the sequel, Sacred Stones, because I've put a lot of time into that one as well, but just don't have it. So, yeah, cursed games. I just thought, let's go through a few of them. So I've just pulled some random ones off the shelf and all that. So, yeah. But here on the top right now, I actually have two games that I want to quickly go over. And these are important because these are kind of what I'd like to call former curse games. These were games that I did try to get into over the course of time, until one time I did just clutch it out and beat them, and now in both cases they're like a couple of my favourite games of all time. First one's Majora's Mask. I think I've talked about this one a lot. It was a game that, you know, because I lived inside Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time is one of the most important games of my life, it absolutely is, and a game that just plays identically to it, but in the same way it's just so utterly different. In my mind it's like, oh, it's just like Ocarina. I can do this easy. But I had like the issues that most people have. I didn't like the 3D mechanic, all that bollocks, and I don't know, one day, it was actually, you know what it was? Game Theory did that crossover with Peanut Butter Gamer. Really good video this, about how Link is actually dead in this game. And I don't know why, but that video really stuck out to me and really like piqued my interest with this game, and it like pushed me to keep going with it. And I found so much more in this game than what that video had already said. That's really the thing about this one. Maybe you just need like little tidbits of information and little know-how knowledge to get yourself started with it. Otherwise you are relatively lost, which I guess with the 3DS version did to an extent. And the other one is, this was probably the de facto curse game aside from Majora's Mask for me, as Valkyria Chronicles. This is the remastered version of the PS4, which I've not opened yet. Yeah, I remember buying this the week it came out for the PS3. You know, Sega released a game that have Skies of Arcadia characters, cameos in it. I was like, fuck yes. But I had this fear of strategy RPGs, I guess. I don't know if I've spoken about it. I probably have. It's an anecdote that I like to tell a lot. I'll not tell it here, but yeah, strategy RPGs and me didn't get along at all for the longest time, which is probably the reason why Fire Emblem was always such a curse for me as well. but I just like said, no, this is getting beat, it's getting beat, it's getting beat, it's getting beat, it's beat. That was one of the best games I've ever played, you know. Probably like, maybe my second favourite PS3 game. Maybe that's probably a wee bit generous, but it's so, so good, you know. I don't know if I ever want to open this, and if I do, it would be nice to play. I've got it on Steam as well. I mean, this, obviously, this version contains all downloadable content. So, if you get the chance, definitely play this one. So, yeah. Those were two former cursed games for me. And I hope that these games here, I can, like, appreciate them in the same way I can those two games one day, you know, along with Fire Emblem. And one game I'm going to talk about, first of all, that I meant to pull off the shelf, but forgot to at the start of this video, is something I want to talk about, and I'm just going to have to keep talking until I find it. Oh, there it is. Now, I'm not too sure about this one, because in a way I'm just convinced I legitimately don't like it, but I guess at the same time I just wanted to like it, you know? And that is Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life. Now, I'm currently playing Story of Seasons. I love this franchise. But this was a game I tried to play a couple of times, and both times, like, I got a little bit further the second time, and this game's just a real drag, you know? I mean, Harvest Moon is very slow-paced, very, like, you need a lot of patience for it in the first place, very laid back. But even by Harvest Moon standards and what I've, like, become accustomed to, nothing happens in this game. It is a massive drag. Yeah, maybe this isn't so much of a cursed game. Maybe I'm pretty convinced I just don't like it, so forget I said anything, so yeah. Go buy Trio of Towns for the 3DS, it's wonderful. Okay, first up, this is a game that I got it when it came out and I dropped it for stupid reasons probably. And I popped it in again, and to be honest, the biggest thing drawing me back from this game is the console it's on, okay? And that is Lost Odyssey. Yeah, I never beat Lost Odyssey, I feel so bad about that. Okay, because yeah, it's so good, it's so emotional, everybody talks about how they teared up with it. It's true, you do tear up, and the fact that I have not finished it is so gut-wrenching to me, okay? And again, I was talking about the console it was on, because I really don't have my 360 up and running ever, you know? That and the fact that a lot of you have probably heard about this, I know I've probably moaned about it a lot as well. Disc 4 of this game is notoriously, like, defective because of this, basically. What this, like, envelope which had disc 4 in it is made out of is apparently, like, really bad for discs, and, you know, disc 4 of Lost Odyssey is basically really rare because nobody can seem to get it working. I actually think this game, disc 1, is currently in my 360 too, because it's not here. Because again, that was the last time I tried to play it, but again, other stuff is out, you know. We don't have unlimited time, sadly, but yeah, I mean, I don't own an Xbox One either, but I think this recently went on the Xbox One backwards compatibility list, so you can download it on the Xbox One, can you? This is honestly the biggest incentive I have for getting an Xbox One. I will probably get an Xbox One S if I find it for cheap enough, just so I can download and play Lost Odyssey. That is literally my biggest reason for it at this point in time. Yeah, it's very big curse game. Okay. Oh god, this one, I moaned about this so much, and I have torn out so much hair about it. It's just because, like Harvest Moon, this is a franchise that it has become so important to me, and I love, like, every game in the series. I played them all, like, back to back almost, despite the fact these aren't games you really should play back to back, but I didn't care because I was still loving it oh so much. But this one, I don't know what it is. Dragon Quest VI. This is the only one I cannot beat. I've tried to play this 3 times already. Each time I get further. The last time I played it, I think I put like 35 hours in it, and I'm just like, I can't do it. There's something about this one that just doesn't do it for me. And yeah, it's mega cursed for me, okay? I'm just so haunted by this game because I can't muster the energy to beat it, despite, you know, because these games aren't exactly all completely different, right? They're all pretty fucking similar and they're all pretty repetitive, grind happy. But again, even with that, it's just, there's something. Yeah, Dragon Quest VI. Oh god. Right, here's another one. I remember this was actually one of the first games I acquired when I officially said to myself, I'm going to start game collecting. And that's Phantasy Star 2. I'm a big Phantasy Star fan, you know, specifically the first game, funnily enough. You know, I played that game, I really liked it actually, it was wonderful. Phantasy Star 4 is kind of like the peak of JRPGs on the Mega Drive. I think that's the popular opinion. And even the online games, I enjoy them immensely. Especially Phantasy Star like online for the Dreamcast. Really good game, even to play by yourself. I was very shocked by that. You kind of leave Phantasy Star 3 alone because that's the general consensus of that one. But this one's very fondly remembered, and I actually played it again not long ago on the Mega Drive collection for the PS3. And I was actually quite shocked to be feeling nostalgic about it, because I was probably playing this quite a bit on my actual Mega Drive back in like 2007. I think that was the time where I sort of said to myself, I'm going to start collecting. You know, I'm not going to trade in any more games. I'm going to try and buy like little retro tidbits wherever I can. But yeah, I got pretty far, because there's not really... This is a very like... what's the word? A lot of like the places you go to in this game aren't that eventful. You kind of just have this central city that you're constantly returning to. Almost a bit like Dark Souls-ish, maybe? I don't know, but I tried to play it again, and I was enjoying it. It's a very archaic JRPG, but with a lot of charm, for absolute definite. But I guess with the archaic nature in itself, it really just becomes a massive time sink overall. And the main baddie is called Mother Brain. That doesn't mean anything, I just think it's hilarious. But yeah, I would say this is a curse for sure. Especially, nowhere near as bad as like Dragon Quest VI, because even, I'm probably a bigger, at this point, definitely at this point actually, a bigger Dragon Quest fan than I am a Phantasy Star fan. Mainly because, you know, fucking, at least Dragon Quest isn't dead. I'm still waiting on Phantasy Star Online 2, saying okay, I'm gonna get too emotional, whatever. Yeah, Phantasy Star 2. Okay, I guess this next one, you know, I'm pretty sure I actually only played this the once. But I guess, even though I only played it the once and never beat it, it's more to do with the fact that I enjoyed it so much. And the fact that I stopped playing it didn't actually have anything to do with like my mindset or anything. It's because it literally would not work. It kept freezing on me whenever I tried to play it on the PlayStation I had at the time. And that's Grandia for the PS1. Wonderfully, beautifully charming game here. It really is. If you are into those sort of like PS1 era JRPGs, of which there's hundreds I know, but this is really top tier as far as I'm concerned. Really charming, childlike, innocent story, all, you know, all that good stuff. It's like, yeah, there's, yeah, Grandia. It's like, just thinking about it now, it's like, holy shit, I want to know what happened. I can still remember up until the point where it kept freezing. I can remember the story completely. I really want to go through this again. It was wonderful. I've played Grandia 2 on the Dreamcast too. Not quite as good, but still quite stellar as far as I'm concerned, you know, mainly because it's a bit more edgy, like the main character's a bit more, yeah, he's a bit more rough around the edges as opposed to Justin here, who's a very, like, happy-go-lucky guy, you know. I kind of preferred that tone, really. But yeah, Grandia, good shit, like, good shit. I really gotta get to this one. Okay, and this last one I'm going to talk about, there's actually a ray of hope with this one because it recently got a 3DS announcement. I guess a remaster, re-release, whatever, you know, that term has become so like out there recently, hasn't it? But that's Radiant Historia for the DS. This was like a game which kind of gets compared to Chrono Trigger. Maybe not completely fairly, I would say, but the concept is really interesting because literally you play through the game and you make choices that affect the storyline, and you can travel back in time at any point. You can literally get to the end of the game, go back to the beginning point and play the game, make all the changes, whatever, keep your level, which is a bit of a continuity flaw, but whatever. And yeah, it works out really well, and it's very interesting, and I never beat it. Again, I never beat it. I definitely did try to beat it twice, got further the second time through, and yeah, you've heard the story multiple times already, just stopped for whatever stupid fucking reason. And hopefully that 3DS version, it's only announced for Japan so far, hopefully we get that, and that'll give me a decent enough like excuse to finally get back to this one, because it's really, really good. Okay. And yeah, that's those are some of my cursed games, guys. How about we do the obligatory comment shit, and you can tell me some of your cursed games and whatnot. I feel like I've been on a bit of a good run here, whenever I point out that I'm on a good run with videos, that's usually the point where I stop doing the videos and I go like 2 weeks without a video, and I have to start the video saying it's been a while, which is like every other video for me, really. But, whatever. Let me know, you guys. Okay. See you after. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.